Anisha, what were the key takeaways from the verdict today? Is it the final verdict? Has there been another date that some of the other hearings have been postponed to? Give us all the details.
Well, at this moment, the Supreme Court has not given any verdict right now. What they have said is that the status report, the interim report filed by the expert committee has to be shared with the petitioners. The SEBI has been given additional time till 14th of August. Now, the Supreme Court has asked for a status report from SEBI on exactly what has happened with the investigation that has been conducted so far. Remember, SEBI had asked for 6 months more time. The court has noted today that we've already given you 2 months, and now we are now giving you 3 months extension of time. But you need to give us a status report on what has happened, kind of investigation has been conducted. What is also important to note is that the court has clearly noted that they may give further extension if required, depending on what the SEBI report finally says. The expert committee report, the interim report that had been submitted just a few days ago, will be considered now by the court on July 11th. But in the meantime, the report will also be shared with the petitioners, and they will be allowed to give their comments on what the expert committee has said. So at this moment, the SEBI is trying to say that this is a very complicated investigation, that they need more time because there are several other things that have to be considered. The court at this moment not making any observations whatsoever about the Adani Group or the investigation as such. They're saying that we want to know what exactly has happened, even as the petitioners had raised allegations that the SEBI is trying to hide what is happening with the Adani Group. And this is an allegation that the petitioners have raised again and again, that there seems to be deliberate shielding of the Adani Group by the government agencies at this stage, because even though there was a reply tabled in Parliament in 2021 that Adani Group companies were under investigation in 2016 and in 2020, the SEBI at this moment, through the Solicitor General and in their affidavits, taking the stand that the 2016 investigation had nothing to do with any Adani Group companies. Back to you.
Anisha, just one more point I wanted to understand from you. Has there been any comment from the Supreme Court, the CJI, on the findings of the expert panel, the six-member committee? They had submitted a report in a sealed cover the last time that we had spoken to you about. What are the updates from that? Has the Supreme Court really talked about anything on that? Has there been any word as to what exactly the findings have been about?
Well, no, at this point, the court has said that we are going to take some time to see the report. We'll go through the report. But what they've made clear is that we don't want a roving inquiry. We are dealing with the fallout of the Hindenburg report at this particular point. And I'm quoting the Chief Justice here, the expert committee has submitted a report bearing in the mind the timeline given in the order earlier. In order to reflect on the report, the proceedings will now be listed on the 11th of July. And the expert committee is requested to continue to assist the court. They may hold further deliberations in the meantime, and they could be, the expert committee could also take up any further actions or aspects suggested by this court once the court takes up the report and considers the proceedings. Now, this is the only comment that has been made by the Supreme Court right now. And I'm also being joined by Advocate Vishal Tiwari. If you can give me a few more seconds. Advocate Vishal Tiwari, who's the petitioner in the case, is here with us. Sir, court has simply given an extension of time to SEBI, and they've said they'll consider the expert committee report. How do you see today's proceeding?
See, court has given them only 3 months time till 14th of August, and court have also directed the SEBI that it shall submit its status report, that up to what extent they have investigated till now. And expert committee has submitted its report. Its copy will be made available to us. And court has further directed the expert committee that it shall continue to assist the court, and elaborately it shall also further take the appropriate steps. And SEBI is also directed to assist the expert committee.
Sir, just wanted to clarify. We were hearing the matter, of course, we were in the court hearing, but the bench has also said that we don't want a roving inquiry. Where is the question now about what is SEBI doing?
I have understood. See, in my petition, there was a prayer that an expert committee shall be constituted, and on that petition, court said that yes, we want that how we can strengthen the SEBI regulatory authority and what sort of other measures we shall bring to strengthen the share market. On that, court has said that already committee we have constituted and we are focused upon the Hindenburg report, and there is no need of roving inquiry because by some other person it was said that some ED or CBI. So court said no, we are not on the question of investigation by ED or CBI. We are just on the question of the share market price, and we are on the question that how we can save the money of the investors in future in this share market. So court has taken a positive attitude and we are welcoming this thing.
Sir, one more question. The Solicitor General has said that the 2016 inquiry and the 2020 inquiry were not related to the Adani Group companies. But the affidavit that you and other petitioners had submitted had said that the minister in the reply table before Parliament had said that in 2016, when the GDR issue was being considered, that funds which have invested in the Adani Group companies were also under investigation. Has the court or anyone else said anything about this during the hearing?
See, court has asked them to file a status report whether there was such kind of issue earlier. And as Sebi's reply say that no, they were not investigating earlier either in 2016 or 2020 on this particular issue of the so-and-so company, Adani company. So court has clearly asked them that whether you have some kind of regulatory mechanism and you shall file some kind of a status report so that it could be treated as a concrete finding to grant you further more extension. But till today, court has said only extension we are giving you till 14th of August and you shall submit a status report.
But clearly the court has said that if there is further in a report, depending on what is actually said in that report by the Sebi, they could grant further time, even though the chief made it very clear we are not giving you indefinite extension.
The court has said that if there will be some kind of new thing coming in future, then we may consider. But till today, only time given is 14th of August, and we don't think that in future also some further time may be given because it will lead to a prolonged investigation and that will benefit the entities which are under the umbrella of investigation to manipulate in their accounts.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Tiwari. So you just heard from one of the petitioners in the case, Advocate Vishal Tiwari, who's laid down exactly what has happened in the court before us, and we've also been talking about what was there in the hearing before the court.
If you like the video, do like, comment, share and subscribe.